Yeah.
September
We don't give
18th,
that much money away.
library
But
board
you know, it's
meeting to
holding
order.
steady is the tough part here is it's holding steady and there's so many things that have changed, but.
She'll get the message. Anyway, I call the meeting to order.
Did you?
Yeah.
Darn!
Okay, any correspondence you'd like to share with us this afternoon?
So we got a thank you from a grandma that came with her grandchildren,
Oh,
and she was so thrilled. And then the American Red Cross for our donation to them. Thank you.
and there's no public comment today? Your pleasure on the minutes of our August 21st meeting.
I will move to approve. I will second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, they are approved. Your pleasure on the vouchers for August, the month of August.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion on the vouchers?
Usual.
All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, they are approved. The unaudited monthly review and expense report. All I know is that darn close to budget.
Yeah. And anything that you want us particularly to be aware of in there?
Not necessarily. Just rolling along.
As long as you don't see any large boulders rolling
Nope.
along towards you, that's the important part.
No.
Okay, motion made, motion made a second to approve the unaudited monthly expense and revenue report. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Did we make a motion?
No, we didn't yet.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Oh.
No, not on the.
I didn't hear it. What was the
Elizabeth?
That was the motion.
That's one to four.
Yeah, that was one.
I'll,
So Elizabeth.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, we got the motion.
We're good.
It's a good thing I'm wound up.
So Elizabeth first, second.
I'll second.
Okay, now is there any discussion? All in favor of approval of the unaudited monthly revenue and expense report, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, it is approved. And the monthly statistical report, other than it's positive most of the time, right?
Most of it, there's a little bit of reduction in foot traffic and in checkouts, but, so, Lori, what is going on with magazines? I mean, we started cutting them, I think, because people felt like, oh, they're not circulating. Now the circulation numbers on magazines seem to have been improving. Is that just because we have fewer magazines and therefore when they check out, it looks more impressive?
No, it's just because we've opened that up now, and we can now share those magazines with other libraries in their system. Before, magazines were just local checkout, but now WVLS approved that the libraries can now share magazines so that we're not all buying the same things. We're able to save some money by one library will, have this one, and so they're able to check them out from other libraries, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you.
Any other discussion on all in favor of approval of the statistical report, signify by saying aye.
Did we get?
I didn't have a first or second. I know. She is so excited to talk over there.
I love it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, maybe we should start at the bottom and go up.
Who was my first?
Audrey.
Thank you.
Okay, now, okay. Anybody else got a comment on monthly statistical report? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, it is approved. All right, now this was just a discussion, so we don't have to.
No voting, so.
On the consortium.
Yeah, so while the board approved, that we approve that merger, it was not approved by the whole. Final update then is the Wisconsin Valley Library Service member libraries voted at the September 5th VCAT meeting to determine whether or not the system would move forward and perhaps negotiate terms with Northern Waters Library System, who had already voted down the merger. The WVLS member libraries voted down the merger. It was close. It was like 51-49 split, but it's a 2/3. However, a decision of this magnitude, like I said, required the 2/3 majority vote to pass. discussions will take a hiatus for the time being, and the WVLS administration will discuss next steps. So that is what is happening right
So
now.
it's tried twice now.
They've tried, we've tried consolidating with them twice, so it's a matter of trying to figure out where to go from there.
Is there any sense that to the west, the Indian Head would
They-
be at all interested in
Because they already,
merge?
IFLIS already has roughly 55 libraries in their consortium, adding another 25 would make it pretty huge, yeah, it would make it really big, so, it's just a matter of, I don't know, and that's why the admin team will discuss where to go next. So, yep,
Too bad.
that's where we are.
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay, there's any other comments on that? How about our strategic plan and goals, number 4? Any questions, comments? Other than good job done?
Just working.
Are there any, emergent collections that, like a couple of years ago, graphic novels took off, first for teens and then there were a bunch for adults. Are you finding any other unique collections that, particularly in terms of books? I mean, Library of Things is always gonna be really diverse, but
Yeah.
is there anything emerging that you feel like you're specializing in?
Well, I mean, we know the read-alouds, they now have, there's 2 manufacturers or 2 publishers, main publishers that have read-alongs right in, it's like built right into the book.
Mhm.
And So Youth Services has worked at building up our collection in that area because they are checking out.
Okay.
Andrea, you're looking at now doing some of that in the young adult collection, correct?
Yeah, and the juvenile, the bonus to those, which I love, the Wonder Books, when they put them out, they also print them on white paper with dyslexic-friendly font and large print. So not only do you have the audio, but you've also got large print, a dyslexic-friendly font and things like that. So even the kids who, if they just want to read the book, it's just,
Easier.
it just makes it easier for them. So yeah,
Do you
that's
have
in the works.
Do you have any sense of whether we are getting a larger collection than other WVLS libraries of those materials? So ours are circulating throughout WVLS, or are we catching up to other libraries, or are all of them doing the same thing? Like, is this increasing our things in and out the door is the question.
That's too hard to tell. They used to be in a special item status to where they did not go to other libraries. We
Right.
changed that.
Okay,
So they do go out to other libraries, so our read-alongs do go out. I think, except for possibly Wausau. I'm not sure how many read-alongs Wausau has, but our collection is really large. So I think we have one of the biggest collections of the picture book read-alongs.
Okay.
And so the juvenile and young adult are the ones that I'm gonna work on, starting to build this year.
okay. It might be, if in your copious free time, right? It might be a good investment to find out whether we are kind of leading the pack on that, and then make a big deal about it. Pop it on your website and brag that we are the leader in this. We're setting the tone for everybody else. So, because I think it's a great thing, and especially that if they're going out the door, I mean, this is something we could be known for.
Yeah, it's something that the circulation coordinator could
Could work
take
with you
charge
on.
of.
Yeah,
Oh,
would be really, really cool. And then just, blow your trumpet. Tell people we're leading the pack here. So,
Yeah.
cool. Well done. Thank you.
Any other comments? And then our Central 23 on ethics. Hopefully we don't have a.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Don't get me started. I was just calming down there. I was being professional.
Your report, please.
All right. So just, gave you some highlights of the events that are going on. Nothing to report from WVLS. The Friends, they're starting to get things ready. Notices will be out shortly. We're gonna be doing, grocery bag, flyers at the county market that they'll throw in the bag so that people are aware. And as I mentioned in my report, our chair people, Barbara and Randy, this will be their last chairing of a book sale. So, I think, what did they say? They've been doing it for 10 years, roughly.
I will have lived here 9 years on October 23rd, and the first year that I was here, my sister was still doing it.
Okay,
So it
then
must be 8 years.
just under, okay, 8,
Yeah.
okay, all right, okay. So, yeah, they are looking for new blood. But it's a good thing, and we have that ongoing book sale out front that has been doing rather well for them, so we still have that available to our residents. So I mentioned in here that I talked with Gene Bevel. He called one day and asked about some programming and youth services, and it was a wonderful conversation with Gene. And he was so happy to hear about the activity room that was going to be put up in the youth services department. He said, as soon as we know when we're going to have the open house, I'm to let him know and he will be there.
He will.
And he says, I'm sorry I'm not there more often, I just don't get out often. I said, I understand, Gene, but we will definitely make sure that you are here for that. So, yeah, it was a good conversation. So, we had a great get-together honoring our retirees from both the board and here at TV Scott. It was enjoyable. Thank you to all that attended, and we will have a few more of those along the way. But it was a good event and it was enjoyable. One of the things that I did not mention in my report is that we will now provide notary public services here at the library. So it will be announced, hopefully Tina can get it in there next week, otherwise I might have to pay for it. So we're going to be announcing it's going to be a service available on the first and third weeks of the month on Mondays and Wednesdays. We have specific times people can schedule an appointment. That's preferred how we like to do it, because then Maria can then talk to the individual, make sure that they have the necessary documents with them when they come in. And Maria is the individual that has now been licensed or certified as a notary public. Marathon County has that service, and it was something that I wanted to do for quite some time, and Maria was interested, so we now have that available. We already had somebody call earlier this week about it, so within the first week of someone catching wind that we were going to have a notary public. So it will be announced, it'll be on our website, so everyone will be aware of that. So that was the only other thing that I needed to add. That's all I got. Yeah.
Excellent.
That's it?
Yeah, that was it.
Anybody else got anything that should be brought before this meeting? Other than that, I'll entertain, pardon?
12 minutes.
President's comments.
I can say this is a wonderful group to be involved with, that's all I can say. We stay on the subject when we're on the subject, and and before and after, we have a learning. Anyway, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
I never want to adjourn. That's
All in
disgusting.
favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. See you on